Okay, so Cancer rising. Let's talk about your outer planet horoscope, which is going to be good for the next 2 years. And it's just the foundation of what is going on in your life energetically. Explore your chart. This is brief summary, but it is giving you kind of the theme and story of what is unfolding and what has been. So Cancer rising, your first house, you have Jupiter there, and it's there until June 30th. I'm sorry, I'm cooking. But you could have experienced over the last year feeling like you have had been lucky, like overly lucky or abundant. You could have also been feeling overwhelmed or expanded to the point where it's like uncomfortable. You may have had really good rest because Jupiter does well in Cancer, or a change in how you show up or your beauty, or just your personal self-worth and things like that could have felt like really good over the last year. And you have, and that is going to change because Jupiter is going to move into your second house of finances. Okay. So the outer planets right now are activating your eighth house. Pluto has moved into your eighth house of Aquarius, which means that it's moved out of your seventh house. So Pluto does well in the eighth house. It rules death and transformation from a soul perspective. Like, we're done with that chapter. How you shown up from like birth all the way up into partnership is now getting a complete revamp. And with Pluto in your eighth house, it's like you could be ending toxic relationships. You could be, learning security through finances. You could be, but it's an inner world. It's a non-visible house. So all of this is like undertone. It's not visible to other people. And Pluto is there for the next 19 years, which is a big deal because you're about to go, like you're on a brand new healing journey, right? And then we have, okay, so I'm going to tell you the shadow side or some of this energy with Pluto in the eighth house. You could be into like astrology or the occult or subjects and things that are very like life altering and changing. Like, you want to understand the depth of things. You want the intensity of it. You want to know the truth. You don't want no bullshit. Like, you're going to be feeling real. And this is going to be from an internal perspective. Like, what do I want? And who am I? And why is that bothering me? And like, that has to change and this has to go. There could also be a new drive of like sexual intimacy and wanting to explore that part of who you are. Just again, it can be obsessive energy. So be mindful if you start to get overly obsessed or like just too deep into something, that could be showing you that you're kind of out of balance there. So then you have your 10th house, which is also being activated by Saturn and by Neptune. This is really important because the planet Pluto in the 8th house is saying this is where you're going to transform, right? But Saturn is saying this is where you do the work. And Neptune is saying make sure you do it with your soul and not your ego, okay? So the 10th house is the most public house, right? It's very visible. And which means that Saturn and Neptune are coming out of your 9th house. You could have just graduated. You could have just learned something new, a new skill set. You could be changing careers. You could be promoted. You could start a business. But with Saturn moving there into the 10th house, Saturn does well in the 10th house. But it's saying build the foundation. What are the first things that we need to do? What are the rules here? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What are we building? And it's the beginning of it, right? So you may become a leader, or you may become a doctor, or you may become a teacher. And with Neptune moving there as well for the next 14 years, Neptune is going to make sure wherever you start out with Saturn, it ends with like soul and growth and purpose and inspiration. Like whatever it is that you're building is going to have some significance from like, as you evolve and heal and change with Pluto in the 8th house for the next 19 years, your belief systems, how you show up is going to change. And that is going to impact what it is that you're building. But this is all going to be very visible. People are not going to see you healing, but there may be, they're going to see what you're building and what you're bringing out into the world. Okay, so, and then your 12th house is activated by Uranus, which means that you probably just went through a massive change of like friends or what you fought for, the things that you believed in, the stages that you wanted to stand in, the groups that you wanted to participate in, what you wish for, what you hope for has changed. And that energy in that area of your chart is now moving into your 12th house. So Uranus in the 12th house is going to disrupt your sleep. And it's going to provoke your subconscious. There could be secrets. There could be a lot of karma. There could be, again, this is another house that's not visible. And Uranus and Gemini is there for the next 7 years. It is coming to liberate you. But liberation don't always feel good if you can't fucking sleep. If you don't know what's going on. And so I just get this sense of like, you're going to be in a vulnerable spot. And you're going to still have to be building something, but build it slow. Build it intentionally. Don't feel the need to know everything because a lot has changed. And this is all new territory for everybody. But with you having such a visible 10th house, you're building your legacy in front of everybody while you're still fucking healing for the next foreseeable future. And it's okay if you're missing that. But Saturn is going to help you know what to do. Uranus is saying, because we know Pluto is saying this is where you're transforming. Neptune is saying don't fall for the illusion, right? Don't be delusional in this space. I want to work 5 jobs, because who the fuck wants to work 5 jobs? That's living in a delusion. That's not how you secure the bag. You secure the bag by learning who you are on the inside and by bringing that out in a balanced manner, right? You don't earn by doing and harder, right? Like, I'm going to work harder. That is played out. That was like the last ecosystem that we lived in. Now it's a matter of like your spiritual consciousness and who you are and being authentic so that as you vibrate, you match that and bring that and put that out into the world, okay? And then Uranus is saying, I'm going to liberate you and I'm going to, rattle your subconscious a little bit. And I'm going to, there could be like just patterns that you see in your own behavior. You could see, but it's all going to be from your perception, like your cognitive ability is going to change, how you learn. Why am I seeing it that way? Why am I looking at that way? How come I can't let this go? Why is this provoking me? And those questions are going to lead to answers, which are going to lead to healing. Okay? I hope that helps. Continue to explore. That was very brief, but I wanted to give you the foundation of what you're going to be going through for the next at least 2.5 years until Saturn moves. The other thing that is important is to pay attention to where the planets are coming from. So your 7th house, your 9th house, and your 11th house. Your relationships, your beliefs, and your friendship groups just changed. And now Spirit and God and the angels and whomever is saying it's okay to rest and heal. But know that you have enough strength and power to still build your legacy and to put the building blocks down for that. But you don't have to build the whole thing right now. Okay. I love you.